Oh, hi, I didn't see you come in. Welcome to the live stream show where we have lions and dragons and white backgrounds and poor lighting, too. So, we're going to start off, as you can see here, we have a line. And what that's going to represent, this is going to be done in keyframes. This session, I will do um, animated background. I will make my effort to do an animated background using Adobe Animate, but I'm only going to use really basic keyframes. And so what this piece right here, this menu, this is going to represent a stack of layers, and you're going to have a graphic on this layer, a graphic, different keyframes on that layer, a graphic on different keyframes on that layer, another graphic on that layer, and all these graphics are going to be is just separate lines, as you see here, like lines like that. And let's see, go ahead and group that. And then I will animate them at the different poses that will all together, when they're kind of working together, they're going to hopefully make up the motion sense, like that sense of the motion. So if we kind of revisit, all right, kind of like our strategy last time, what the goal is, the goal is create background that will be able to be used as motion scene similar to animate. Now that's it's a general description. And so the plan process that we just reviewed is create line graphics in separate layers, and then animate each line graphic as to convey motion by looping the location. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to loop it. It'll go from one position to the next position, to the next position, to the next position, all the way until it's off the screen, just like we did with the Godzilla walk. It's just, enter, move, 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 and then loop back over again, enter, move, 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 move. And it'll be 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 of them. I think 8 of them with a layer in the background, with the background layer, a certain color of a background layer. Let me check out the question you're asking. We have, for this stream, I'm going to try to follow along in my animation app. Nice. Yeah, I think with your animation app, Loki, if you can get it to be where you can organize different layers, the way I've sorted these, you probably can't see it here. The type is a 3 for the top section of it's going to be the whole section of the page. There will be 3 on the top, 2 in the middle of the screen, and 1, 2, 3, 3 on the bottom of it. So I'll just note that down. Planning the process out, the building process is layer and stage arrangement, right? 3 for the top, 2 for the middle, and 3 for the bottom of and then 1 background. Now the background is actually the very last section. That the background goes all the way behind it. That's going to be our build process. Layer, stage arrangement. 3 graphics on the top that'll be moving left to right. 2 in the middle, 3 for the bottom and 1 layer of the background. And now these are all, they're all going to be moving independently and organize them. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're saying I can set different layers and organize them. Nice. That's perfect. Okay, so let's start out. And these are going to be very generic graphics. I'll do the background last. I'm going to place the background right at the bottom. The top layer is up at the top. I'll do the background last, and I'm just going to make some real generic stuff. One graphic here. One graphic here. Got to stretch that out a little bit. And I might want to even make it thinner. And now this is using like a Bezier pen, if you have that. And then the third one, I'll make it shorter. So, and that's, I feel like it's too thick, but I'm gonna just risk it. So I don't know. So already it's kind of like, wow, whoosh, and I could maybe take the Scout image that I have, if we have time and if I can organize this, take one of her keyframes that I have on here, and then at the end, throw it in there. Where's your head? Your head's right here. That's the background. Because then that's when you would do your character, and I should probably plan that out too. I'll just leave her in here for amusement's sake. Here we are. Just keep us company with this thing, okay? She'll just be in there for inspiration. Okay, so this is just the top. This is the top. And notice there's 3 of them, and I have them all on the same layer. I should not do that. I should put them individually. This will be top line 1. I'll take this, move that over to top line. Come on, paste it. All I'm doing is copying from one place. I'll take this, move that over to top line. Come on, paste it. All I'm doing is copying from one place and pasting onto the next. This is top line 2. This is top line 3. I'm going to copy it from here and paste it down here. Again, it should be at the top. Okay. Alrighty. So this, now again, these are all going to be like an independent motion speed. So let me do a basic 3 keyframe here. I'm going to take my first keyframe, take my top line, take my first keyframe, and I'm going to duplicate it. And what I do is F6 is the keyframe duplication for this application. And so I will, let's see, hide that. Okay. So this should be 1. The second one, and come in here. So now the first one, there's the location of the first one, location of the second one. This is just the top, the very, very top of the 3. So then now we're going to duplicate that. And that's just move that over here. And midway, duplicate one more time. Almost there. The next one will be the last. Okay. And then we can make one where it's blank, and then we'll let it loop back over. So that's number 5, 6. That's 6, 5, and 6. Okay, cool. So here's 1. So all right, let's just play it. This is at 30 frames a second. We're going to play it just for the top of the top 3, one of the top 3. That's really fast. It's very fast. Now I'm going to, I will do this. I'll kind of go back and forth on the frame per second just for demonstration. All right, so 15. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this down at 15 frames a second. It's half the speed. All right, 1 through 5, and then a blank. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, now I am going to, now notice what I'll do is I'm going to copy all of the first, I'm copied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to paste it. I'm going to have a blank one. Keyframe number 6, the sixth keyframe is going to be blank. Nothing will be there. And then we'll start back over on 7. So here's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then blank. So back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blank. And then we got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blank. Now we'll play it. Alrighty. So it may be longer or it may just be at that speed. So now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hide that one that I just did. I'm going to do the same thing with that new line. And I think that, yeah, I'm gonna make this one go maybe a shorter distance. Duplicate almost to the center. Duplicate right in the center. Duplicate about an inch left and duplicate. And then let's see what it looks like if I start over from there. And I don't have to do this. But I'm just want to see what it looks like. All right, save it. Let's see, hide the scout. Yeah, no, I think I want it all the way from the furthest. And then this one will be the furthest. So I'll spread them out again. So for this second one, it's out here to the left or out to the right, kind of 2/3 or closer to the middle, straight in the middle, closer to the left, and almost off the screen. And that can be off the screen. Take that entire set of 5, copy them, and then duplicate them so they start over. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know how it'll look though. Now let's see both of them at the same time. Okay, so it's the top and the bottom. Now I am going to do this larger one coming from off the screen. Duplicate. Pull in here. Duplicate over here. Halfway. Copy paste. Almost there. Okay, so it just goes that quick flash by. So now, same thing. Take all of these, paste them. All right, let me see how it looks on full screen. It's pretty bad. Okay, so what we can do is space out the timing on there. I mean, that's cool as a design, maybe like fire or something. I don't know. But what it should be doing is one after the other. So let's move this. I'm going to move. Now, I don't know what other animation softwares allow, but I'm simply like the timeline, the keyframes that I had, I'm able to group, I'm able to select an entire set of them and then like move them way out here or move them back over here. And they're all going to be in the same order. They'll all be in the same sequence. They'll just be at a different location in the timeline. Uh, like a keyframe later or 2 keyframes later or 3 keyframes later than they were previously. So let's see how that will run out. All right, let's give this a little bit. Yeah. Now let me go back to the. We're going to go from 15 frames a second back up to 30 frames a second frame rate. Wow, that's pretty fast. Okay. And if we reduce that, we cut off that edge empty space right there. This is all empty space for me. I'm going to cut that off so that way it starts back over sooner. It goes from 1 through 15, and then it covers back to 1. Hey, not bad, not bad. Let's see what comment. Yeah, I can do something like that in my app. Nice. Yeah, just a matter of, once you get them in order, in the order that you want, that you feel good about, and like the first one is like, starts the first, or the second row starts about 3 seconds later, 3 keyframes later, and so forth. The third one is different. So that's pretty fast. So there's different ways to slow it down. Either I could slow it down in here by spacing them out, like that would be 2, that would be 2, that would be 2, etc. Or I can do the frame rate like I did the frames per second. So let me go back to move that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the background here. And usually with those dramatic scenes, they have like sort of a darker background. Maybe like a dark gray or something. Dark green. Nope. So we want it to stay, the background, obviously it's not going to move, but we want it to stay on the entire way there. Okay. So it's getting there. Maybe it needs to be darker. Let's go to the color wheel. All right. I kind of imagine a character running through the forest right here. And then maybe put the scout head in there. Now this is kind of this is just I don't want to do a cheat on this. Just for quick demo. Okay. Yeah, the animate application lets you do this thing where you do sort of an automatic keyframe create classic tween. You just place it in 2 different locations and then it moves on its own. It's a very old style of computer animation. And very fast. So once we populate this, this is only 15 frames right there. Let's say another set, the middle set can be another 15 frames, up to 30, and then 45. So once we get it to be 45, then we'll notice, all right, her head can, or if we throw the entire body in or whatever, that can go, it will not be limited just to 15 frames. It'll go all the way up to 45 frames, or however long we want to make it, really. So I'll put that back down. All right, now let me get the middle frames. I think this one could be darker. Yeah, that's a little easier. All right, we don't need that camera layer. All right, so now we're going to the middle line 1 and middle line 2. I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to take that from the top line 3. I'm going to lock everything, place that on the middle line. Now, middle line, of course, middle line will be right there in the middle. Lock the background because I don't want to accidentally move it. Okay. And maybe I can make them a little shorter. And then start right here. If we want to just focus on that, I'll hide that. Okay, copy it, paste it to the second frame. Come here. I'm going to put it right in the center, so it's going to be less of them. Copy that, paste that. Oh boy. And it crashed. Reopen. I'm going to duplicate that copy. And we wait. Wow, yeah, I didn't copy the middle line. That's fine. Cover motion background. Okay, I guess it's going to be color recover. All right, so top line 3. Lock the bottom layer, lock the background layer. We don't need this camera. And now we're working on middle line. We're going to hide everything else, lock everything else. Working on middle line. Place it kind of right in the center. I think I wanted to, again, make it shorter. Yeah, crash, rip, crash. It's so, I don't understand it. You know, I don't understand the iOS sales pitch of like reliability, I guess. I don't know. But it's funny because like iOS does really well with graphic images, static graphics. But like you try to put like, you know, animation, it's like it doesn't know what it's doing. You try to put 3D in here, 3D modeling crashes very expectedly, you know. But everything else is fine. It's just there's certain, you know, graphic capabilities or incapabilities that Macs have, whereas PC just totally outshines it. So this is middle line right in the middle. That's it. So this is middle line right in the middle. All right. It's a fast one. Wow. And I'm going to copy the first three, leave a blank space, and actually I'm going to leave two blank spaces, and then let it, wow, very fast. I'm at 30 frames a second. I'm going to go back down to 15 frames a second. Okay, so now I'm going to copy the entire row of middle line, and I want to put another blank space between that. So it's 3 middle line, the top middle line. There's 2 middle lines. The top middle line is 1, 2, 3, blank, blank, then 1, 2, 3, and then blank. And then I'll paste that entire thing again so that it's 1, 2, 3, blank, blank, 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's just like that. Let's see how that looks with the rest of them. Put the background in there. Let's see. And then getting there. It's getting there. I'm kind of looking at it, squinting my eyes, kind of imagining what needs to be, what does it need to improve, I guess, if anything. I mean, once we get all the rest of the lines in and the character in, maybe that'll be better. Okay. So back to this line. Copy that. I will hide the rest. Hide, 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 hide. It's a big, strange shape. All right. This one will go a little bit more. We'll have more keyframes for this one just to give it some variety. And so like we're in the previous one where I had the blank and the blank, I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there. So it'll, like its complementary middle piece is blanked out at that point. But on this case, I'm leaving it in so that it's, more variety in that section. And one or two more. Let's just see that. Okay. And then I will copy the entire section and then paste it, and then it loops. Actually, I'll do a blank here. It'll skip there and then paste it over there. So the way it looks for the middle section is it's got active, 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 blank, and active, blank, and then active, and then blank, both active, 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 blank, both blank, active, 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 blank, active. So they're kind of like one is going at its own pace, and the other one is going at its own pace. And I wonder if that slower pace is going to mess up the. Well, let's just check. We'll see. It kind of gives it a sense of, in a way, it kind of gives it like a sense of depth, I want to say. It sounds strange because how do you describe depth in terms of motion? If it's horizontal, you can't really say that something has depth to it. I'm going to go ahead and take out, I'm going to move the scout behind the background so she's hidden. We can just kind of look at this for a second. I don't know. What are your thoughts so far? I wondered, should the lines be thinner, like if they're compressed, if they're like compressed, like thinned out, flattened out a little bit. I kind of think they should be flattened out just a bit. I will do that. So flatten out because this one, it's like, yeah, it goes fast, but it does just have great deal. Like I don't want it. What I don't want it to do is I don't want it to pull too much attention away from it as an effect. You know, like if your effects, like if you're doing fireworks or something, or particles or water or something, and there's something about that water effect or that fire effect that is so attention grabbing. You know, it's going to take attention away from like your main character, because your character is going to be like flying through the sky, and you don't want it to be so distracting from the foreground objects, you know, which is your character doing its fly thing. Let's see how that looks. Oh, we're missing a frame on that thing, but that's fine. It's a steady. I think it's a steady pace so far, and then we'll get the bottom section after this. Let's see. Can't wait till we are both down so we can compare our work. Both done so we can compare. Yeah, I wonder if you can upload. What do they call it? Not Giphy, like a GIF. I guess you could just put it on the Discord or on the GIF image UR. That's what it is. Depending on how long it goes or how big it is. All right. All right. So halfway done there. So we've got these. We got the first top three, the two middle, and then we got three on the bottom. And this will be easy because we already know how to do it. Okay, I'm just going to take. I'm going to duplicate. Where is it? Somewhere over here. Right here. I'm duplicating this one from the top. Top line 2 will be the duplicate. And I'll use that as bottom line 1. Place it over here. Might be good to give it a different effect, like a color or a transparency, maybe. I don't know. But right now, just as a first draft, it's best to just stick with the contrast version and composition. So it's like sometimes you can redo something and add, you know, color, a new color to it or a new transparency level or something to it. But as long as you know your first draft, the concept of the first draft went well, you just follow that. And then the second draft, you add all the cool stuff that you wanted to add. But you got the foundation of it on the first one. Something is visible there. We don't want that one. Let's see, what did I use? Okay, that one, the next one. So this lower piece, this lower section, this one is consuming more frames. Okay. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to cheat. I'm going to take this entire row, paste it down here, and then just move the location. See how that looks, one after the other. No, that doesn't. So try it where I press play, push it out further and pushing it out further in the time. No, I don't like that because it looks too staged. Like it looks too, I want to say inauthentic, but it looks just too manufactured. You know, I want this to be. This one I'll just do. I'll do fewer keyframes. This dumb thing out here. I'm trying to hit the function key and throw the keyframe. It's very annoying. So that second one, bottom line 2, and then bottom line 1, the one that's on the top, that one goes a lot faster. So then you can export it as a GIF. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So this one doesn't necessarily go as fast as I was afraid of, and that's good. And then this one over here. Maybe if it's super long. Something out of there. Yeah, that one is too parallel. Much too parallel to the primary one. Huh. All right, let's just see how it works. One of these is it's off. because it's got that one right there in the middle. That flickering look. It's just. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe either I can just take it out altogether, or I can adjust it. Let me see who it is. It's middle line 1. Something is up with middle line 1 that's very annoying. I could either move it out in time. Or give it more keyframes to give it more, stage time, basically. Here's its first. That's the second. That's the third. Yeah, it's got too little stage time, too little presence on stage. So it's got that one right there. Here's the second, middle. Here's the third, and then it stops. It's blank, and then it starts over here, right in the middle, off, and then blank, and then over, and it loops. So what that's doing is that when you go full on, play cycle, it's just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's so repetitive. It gets that kind of just 1, 2, 3, that unpleasant look to it, where it's just not. It's not flowing with the rest of the speed of the objects. So I'm going to give it a couple extra keyframes right here. So, no, wait. First one, second, and we'll just move that in. And then the middle is the middle. And that one right after the middle comes a little further away from the middle. So it's not like completely off. And then this one's nearly off. And then the rest of these on that same row, I'll remove them. And then I'll loop that process over. Let's see how that works. It's still a little noticeable, but it's not distracting to me. All right, so the secret to these things, I think, is that it has to start. No. It has to end where it started. So if it ends, let's see. It ends in a place that it looks like it started it at. So you go, let's see, pull this out. At the start, you have like 2 or 3 of them ready to go, and then 4, and then they come in, and then they go out. So it should end maybe I'll take those same 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll take these same 3 and put them at the very last frame so that it appears as if everything is starting just like it was. So there's these three objects. They're going to share one frame. They are here just like they were on the first. Now that's the first frame, and that's the 17th frame. So first, and it moves, and then 17 frame, and then from here it's going to loop. Right here, 17 is going to start on 18. There is no 18, so it'll just loop back to 1. Let's see how that works. That could work. Now, I think what I need, though, is more right here. These last, like, 3, because it's so empty right here. Notice there's nothing in that area. I wonder. What I could put there. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Got that one. Sort of populate that. Okay, so I'll put some all in the same last frame. You take that one, that one, that one. So this is not necessarily a planned out piece. This is just like, hey, maybe it'll work, you know. Maybe it'll solve it. Try that. Yeah, something there pops too fast. But that, that happens. That's sort of the challenge in creating looped graphics, like looped backgrounds or looped cycles of any kind. The frames that you have exiting out should represent kind of like something similar to how when they started. So it looks seamless. It doesn't look like it's linear. It looks just like continuous, but it actually is linear. So let me try this. Speeding up 25 for just a second. Okay, so now we got that same problem that we had earlier with that little blinking one in the middle. But I think it looks a little fuller. And I'm pretty sure I know where that problem's coming from. That, let's see. I see why, because it's too close to its own frames. All right, I'm going to go with this for now. Saying I'm going to try my best to make sure I can close the loop just right. Yeah, it's tricky. It takes some practice for sure. Because even this is not really perfected. Could use improvement. But I'm gonna put the Scout back in the foreground, and see how it looks. And then we can kind of play with different speeds on that. And so now I said I was going to go out to 45, but really I only went out to 17. Maybe I'm going to just take everything, hopefully it'll probably crash. And then I'm going to paste it all right here, if that's possible. It is somehow. So I'm selecting all of them, copy, and now it's going to hopefully let me paste. Not bad. And then do one more. So not only 35, more like 65 or 70. Yeah, there we go, 70. All right. Now if I could take scout head, and then background, of course. Background is just consistent. It's just static. She can come from off stage, enter. And there we go. Let's give it a shot. Now, okay, those last few is probably what I'm looking for, where it should just go really slow to give it that. Yeah. This, cut that out and only keep this. Let's try it. Now it needs to start out from the beginning. And I think it has to be continuous. Let's try it. Yeah, that's a little more now, and you can see obviously where it cuts. But I think it's a little bit more like what we're trying to do. And maybe even less in motion. And maybe the background can be adjusted. Okay, let me see what else I can get on this file. May not be as much as I wanted. Well, yeah, I wanted to see if I could find the scout, the rest of the scout. But I don't think. I know where it's at. Oh well. I'd have to redraw everything. I mean, I have it somewhere. I'd have to go look for it though. Because if I wanted to do animation of maybe like the cape or her arms or something on top of this, and let's see, where's there something on top of this, and let's see, where's the, like, let's say I wanted to do, it's a very strange looking cape. It's almost like a fin or something. You just pretend like she's got wings or something for right now. You know, it's like there's one layer that's, it's like if I wanted to animate that, you know, I could do, okay, she's got a motion here. A motion there, right? Motion there. But it's not moving like that motion tween that she's moving on. So I would have to like manually do that as I go. Notice, see. So I'd have to make, yeah, that would be a challenge to try to figure out the best way to do that. It's like its own separate animation. Actually, that's not too bad. That's not terrible. It's not perfection, but it's, maybe that could be her ponytail. And maybe just raise it up a few notches every few frames or something. I don't know. What do you think? It's a decent start, decent practice. And then higher up here. Frame by frame, really, is what we're up against here. I'm just going next frame and moving, next frame, moving, next frame, move, next frame, move, next frame, move, move, next frame, move, next frame. The tedious work is always the most relaxing, really, because it's like, you know what it's doing. There's no guessing or anything. Actually, I'm going to use this ear section right here where you can see that ear as the reference. Next frame, Yeah. So maybe that's the best way to do this is just go and kind of frame. Yeah, you're definitely going frame by frame, but it's not as confusing or tedious as it may seem, since we've already created the primary pathway, and we're just frame by frame, step by step, just following that pathway and filling in those small details each section. Not too bad. Just add color to it and be in business. Maybe a blinking eye or something. Just add color to it and be in business. Maybe a blinking eye or something. And then the other motion line style I wanted to do was where you have like a line here, 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 here. So they're kind of in that depth of field, or not depth of field, but that vanishing point. But I don't know if it would work if it's on top of a horizontal moving side scrolling thing. I would have to test it out, but I could post this onto the Discord or maybe the AD server. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining. Hope I've shared some good tips here, and hopefully look forward to seeing your version. And I think we could definitely. There's a lot to build off of this, because like you could try just another background color. You could try different speeds, and then when you get to your actual character, your foreground. So what am I at? 25 right now. Let's go to 30. When you get to your character, then it's like maybe it's going to give a different. It really kind of brings it together. Starts to make sense once you get your character in there. If you have a motion tween, an easy tween keyframe tool, that will help too. Alrighty. Well, thanks for joining. I will see you around.